there. My name is Jodi Scholes, and I'm your instructor for the MBLEX review course. And today we're going to be talking about how does all this work? And when I say all of this, I mean the Patreon account and also the online learning center. And this will serve for those of you, many of you who are here in this class today, are new members of Patreon. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And you know what? I am a pain in the butt. I am. I'm a pain in the butt because I am going to be with you until you pass this exam. Yes. Yes. I like finish lines. I like finish lines that are starting lines. And that's what you're here to do, is to get over that finish line and pass the MBLEX and start your profession. So pass the MBLEX, starting line, start your profession as a licensed massage therapist. So thanks so much for being here. We're going to cover 2 categories today. Actually, we're going to cover 3 because a question came up before we started recording that I think is a real good question. And that question was, how does it work with tutoring? So thanks for asking that, Tiffany. And how it works. So how it works for tutoring is that as a member of this community, you get a very deeply discounted opportunity to do one-on-one sessions with me. They are 60 to 75 minutes. The tutoring session is 60 to 75 minutes. And the tutoring session is $50. For anyone out there, all the schools that I work with, and I used to be adjunct faculty in a massage therapy program at Northern Virginia Community College. My regular rate is $125 for an hour, but because you're here, you get that deeply discounted rate. And what we do is we hone in on exactly those things that you need to study. We use the tools that you're about to see in Patreon and in the online learning center. We use those tools to sharpen the sword. Yeah, sometimes it's more polish the diamond, right? So diamonds, when they show up, they're in the rough. I have a little. This isn't in the rough. It's been polished. It's a crystal. This is a crystal too. But diamonds in the rough, do you know how diamonds get polished? Diamonds get polished by being put 2 diamonds in the rough, get put into a tumbler, and then it tumbles. Boom, 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 boom. And they bang against each other until they come out. They knock off each other's the edges, and they come out smooth. And that's really what this process is, this process of being a member at Patreon. You are in here, and I am looking for those rough edges, those spots that just need to be polished, those areas where we just got to knock off a couple hard edges. We got to add some shine and get you ready to really shine in your career. So let's take a look at our tools. I'm going to start with the Patreon account. All right. And this is what it looks like when you log in. So you can see the latest posts by scrolling down. And for those of you today, you saw the post on joining this event this evening. Now, on your toolbar, on your dashboard, on your toolbar, you can turn on your notifications. So by turning on your notifications, you get a little signal to your cell phone or to your email account that there's been a new post. Great way to stay in touch with what's happening on a regular basis. Now, this is the main page of Patreon. When you scroll down here, right here, you see search posts. Now, I wanted to show you what happens when you search a post. So say you say, oh my goodness, it's time for class. Where's that link? You can type into this little search engine, link. Hit the search button, And you're going to see all the posts that have a link. Link to live class. Link to live class. When it says show more, if you can't see the link, go ahead and hit show more, and you see there's the link. So this is a great way to find recordings of subject matters that you're currently studying. So this week we studied pathology. So you could type into the search box pathology, and you would see all the classes, all the recordings that have to do with pathology. There's our latest one. And if you didn't notice, our latest class has 2 attachments. One is the syllabus, the pathology syllabus that I mentioned in class, and the other is medical terminology. 2 great resources, if I do say so myself. And again, here's pathology, more pathology, all of these on pathology. Okay, so these are the recordings of the live classes, and I think you get the idea. If you'd like to send me a direct message, you can just go to community and hit messages. And this is where you send me a message. It looks a little different on your page, but you get the idea. So go to community and then hit messages. Very good. All right. So there is another, let me go ahead and stop this share. There's another resource for you. If you are at $20 a month or more, $20 a month, you get unlimited practice exams. At $49 a month, you get unlimited practice exams and 7 additional deep dive classes. So let's go to the deep dive classes. So when you log in, you're going to log in at this link, thebusinessofbodywork.com. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and log out of the lovely Brian's. And so you log in here. And when you log in, you get to your dashboard. You hide us. So this is your dashboard. This is where your practice exam is. And as you can see right here, here's a practice exam. And if you are at that $49 level, you're going to start this is where your classes are as well. In this case, Brian here has 4 classes on his dashboard because he's probably in the early stages of his student time with me, his graduate time with me. And so typically I load up a class for you, 1 new class per week. If you are going at a faster pace, if you're taking your NBLEX in the next 30 days, we're going to do that faster. You're going to see 3 classes in your first week. And those 3 classes are going to be navigating the body, anatomy of the lower body, and anatomy of the upper body. So those 3 classes are the ones I want you to get done right away, just to make sure anatomy, you've got a good hold on your anatomy. Now, when you open a class, you're going to click on the link. It will open like this. And in there you see these elements, what we call modules or elements. And so you're going to click on one to open it. This is saying yes. I'm not going to copyright any of this stuff. This little symbol with the arrow, that little symbol is your lecture. That's your deep dive class. This is a little video as well, explanation of the movements of the lower body. And then this with the check mark, that is a quiz. Yes. And so when you listen to the lecture, you can see here it's 45 minutes. Sorry, it's kind of long. But you know what? You can go and you can come back. You can, back and forth. So you listen to the lecture, ideally. Then you listen to this video about movements of the lower body. Then you've got the knowledge to go ahead and complete the quiz. If you want to just try the quiz, go for it. See if you can pass it without listening to the lecture. I'm totally fine with that. So you click navigating the body, just like your practice exam. It says ready to get started. And away we go. What movement takes place when the radius crosses over the ulna, turning the palm down? All right, let's find my... Okay, well, you can see me turning the palm down. So go ahead and put your arms in anatomical position. Out by your sides, thumbs up. What movement takes place when the radius crosses over the ulna, turning the palm down? So turning the palm down. Radius crosses over, radius crosses over the ulna, turning the palm down. What is that movement? You can see this has to do with navigating the body. That movement happens to be supination. Supination? No, it's not supination. It's pronation. It's pronation. Yeah, did you catch that? Right. And so you would submit. There we go. So, and you see here the little ticker, how many questions you've got, and that's, you go along. So, all right, well, that is your online learning center. Let's go previous. And unlike the MBLEX, in your quizzes, you are allowed to go back and forth. But in the MBLEX, you are not. So, exit. Sorry, Brian. We're going to go back. So if you had to leave, you can exit and head back to your dashboard. So there you have it. That is navigating the Patreon account and your online learning center. So I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from our class right here, and we'll continue to record so that you can hear the questions. And so what questions, let's see, let's go to our gallery view. Beautiful. And based on what you've seen, what questions do you have, if any, about the navigating the Patreon account or our online learning center in Digital Chalk, the business of bodywork? Feel free to open your microphone or just maybe send a thumbs up, like I'm good. Yeah, if that's in reactions. Boom, thumbs up, I'm good. So we had a question come in the chat that said, any references for using the app? I'm sorry, CJ, I don't understand the question. So references for using the app. Give me a few more details and I can hopefully answer your question. Oh, yes, thank you. I showed how to navigate on the desktop. That's a very good point. I will add to this video, once we're done, navigation from the app. My app is on my phone. I think I can download the app on my PC to record it, but if not, I'll record it on my phone. So my app, I think, looks a little different than yours. But let me go ahead and... So on my app, I have a dashboard, I have posts, and I have mail messages. And so on the dashboard are the places where you can choose community and message. Published. So again, not going to be really able to see this because of the lighting. Let's see if I can make that note. Oh, hey, wait. It's going to get dark here for a second. Nope, still doesn't work. All right, so much for technology. But you see the posts on your phone and also the place to do messages. So I would say make sure your notifications are on for your app. And that way, when I ping you, when I send you a message, you get a notification. Um, I use the app, but I use it as a creator. So um, I will mention one thing is specifically about the app. Uh, don't do practice exams on your phone. Yeah, I recommend you don't do them on your phone because you're not going to be taking your MBLEX exam on your phone. You're going to be taking it on a PC. And so if you don't have a personal computer, feel free to go use the library. Find a library near you and make the effort, right? Set aside the time, do the little drive, get there. They have free Wi-Fi, free internet, free computers to use, and you can take a practice exam right there in the library. And heck, it's quiet, so it kind of simulates the MBLEX, and that's really what we want to do, right? When we take this eventually. Ooh, another good point, which is there are two ways to do your practice exam. Two different ways. I'll mention those two ways in just a moment. I'm going to check the messages here. Yes, very different on an iPhone. Very good. Okay, turn the notification. Good. All right. So let me mention there are two ways to approach your practice exams. One is to have your notes and use Google. Two is to take it straight through with no help. So one is with help, the other is without help. So the benefits of doing a practice exam and using your notes, using Google, Googling phrases, words you don't know. The benefit of that is you start to know what you don't know. And that's a bit of a challenge, right? When you're first getting started studying or as you're preparing, and really as anyone prepares. How do I know what I don't know? Take a practice exam. You'll start to know what you don't know. So that's one way to take a practice exam. Google terms you don't know. Have your notes. Make notes. Take your time. I have taken the time limit off the practice exam so you can take as long as you need. What I do ask is that you do your best to finish the exam in one sitting. Now, why would that matter? Joe, I get 10 questions done, got to go make dinner. I get another 10 questions done in the morning. I got to go to work. I come home, I do another 10 questions. That's all well and good. I mean, I'd rather you be doing something rather than nothing. However, the idea here is that we need to build your stamina. We need to build your test taking stamina. And if you're getting tired, then there's a good chance you'll need more stamina. And so that's really the secret sauce, right? Is to get to the point where you're actually tired. Because then you recognize your growth edge. If you're starting to feel tired at 30 minutes, that's not going to bode well for the actual exam. I need you to have endurance up to 2 hours. Can you sit for 2 hours taking the exam? Can you? You said, Jodi, I don't have 2 hours I can't find, I can't, I don't have 2 hours to take an exam. I'm working, I got life. You know what? You don't have, that. You don't find the time. To be honest, you don't find the time. It never just shows up. You actually have to make the time. Yeah, you have to make the time. I just saw a comment come through that says, "Oh, Jode, yeah, no, I can't sit still that long." Yeah, I know. Most of us can't. I mean, we live in an age of, lots of stimulus. And what we get to practice, what we get to do is actually sit and focus. Sit and focus. So I mentioned one way to go ahead and take the practice exam, and that's to Google, to take your time, to have your notes. Then it would make sense that the other way, the second way to take the practice exam would be to take it straight through, no notes, no Googling, no help. You would be actually simulating your MBLEX experience. And ideally, you get done in under 2 hours and you score a 70% or better. That would be the idea. So one of two ways to take that practice exam, either with help or without help. And eventually, as you get closer to your test date, in fact, if you're within 30 days of your test date, time to start taking some practice exams straight through, no help. Just to see where you're at. Good, great. I'm sure this is going to be helpful. Don't want to make this too long, this event too long. Very good. Plan to take it at the end of March. Good. So is Tiffany. Yep. Got a few people. We just had one of our regular class students, one of our regulars in class, Bridget O, passed the MBLEX yesterday. Whoop, whoop. Yay, Bridget O. Yay. Yay. I know. So happy. So happy. And Bridget can tell you her story if she'd like. But she faced some challenges, man. She faced some challenges, and we all celebrate together when one of our community passes. So I think the last thing I want to mention is that tutoring again. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling confused, you do have the opportunity to reach out directly. I have a calendar link now. You can just find a time that works for you. I am available on the weekends, and I do have good boundaries. And yeah, and I'd welcome some time with you to help with your calm confidence about passing the MBLEX. So I'll wrap up the recording for now. I think we've covered some great ground, and I look forward to hearing any other questions, any other recommendations on things. Thank you for the recommendation to add a little bit about how to navigate the app. I'll make that happen. And but signing off for now, my name is Jodi Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEX review class, and look forward to connecting with you again soon.